Hello everyone, I once again welcome you all to my YouTube channel English Vanessa. In this video, we are going to discuss a poem written by Robert Browning, My Last Duchess in English. In the previous video, I have explained the same poem in Hindi language. You can watch that video. The link I'm providing under the description box of this video. So before moving further, let us know about the author, means poet Robert Browning. Robert Browning was one of the most well-known poets of Victorian England. He wrote many poems on relationships between men and women. He was a master of dramatic monologue, and My Last Duchess is considered one of the finest examples of this form of poetry. Now, as far as this title is concerned, Duchess means wife, means the queen, his last queen, he's the duke, his last duchess. So this was written in 1842. It contains 56 lines and which is divided into couplets. And it is written in iambic pentameter. The rhyming scheme is double A, double B, double C, and double D. It is a dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue is a form of poetry where a fictitious character gives speech to an audience. Usually, he tells a story or describes an event. So this poem, which is set in Renaissance Italy and is narrated by Duke, because it is a dramatic monologue which is narrated by Duke of Ferrara, who is showing a painting of his late wife, means last duchess, to a visitor. Through this Duke's speech, the reader, means visitor, learn about the Duchess' personality and her behavior, as well as the Duke's own character flaws. So this poem is an exploration of jealousy and possessiveness within a marriage, gender expectations of women, and also the treatment of women as chattel. So the main themes are relationship and gender expectation with married women, and also jealousy and possessiveness within a marriage. So Browning uses the Duke of Ferrara as a vehicle of expressing human emotions of jealousy and also making a statement about societal expectation of married women. Browning may have loosely based the characters of Duke and Duchess in My Last Duchess poem upon the real historical figure of Alfonso. Here you can see in the picture he is the fifth Duke of Ferrara and his young wife Lucrezia. Within just 3 years of her marriage, Lucrezia had died, and it was speculated that Duke had her poisoned. The poem My Last Duchess, here the Duke of Ferrara is giving a tour to envoy of unnamed count, means to a messenger of unnamed count. So here the Duke is a widower here looking for a new bride, and he is interested in a wealthy count's daughter. And he shows the envoy, means a messenger, a painting of his late wife, means last duchess, which is kept behind a curtain. And this duke draw the curtain and shows his last duchess picture or portrait to this envoy, and his aim was to criticize her personality. And from this point, the poem has started when the Duke draw the curtain and shows his last duchess picture. Or as I told you, when the messenger brings him a marriage proposal by his count's daughter, this Duke had taken this messenger to his private gallery, and there he shown him his last duchess picture by drawing a curtain. He said, "That's my last duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive." That means Duke gestures towards the wall mounted picture and he says that this is my last duchess picture which is painted on the wall. It's looking like she is standing alive in front of me because it's so realistic or exquisite. I call that piece a wonder. That means here Duke think or feel that it is a wonderful piece of art. Now Fra Pandolf's hands work busily a day, and there she stands. Now here Duke describing the artist of this amazing picture. The name of this painter is Fra Pandolf, who needed a full day to complete this picture. Means Fra Pandolf, he put a lot of effort into this picture and he needed a full day to finish it and give it a realistic feel. And there she stands. This line suggests that Duchess' entire body is depicted in the picture rather than just close up. Please you sit and look her. Now here Duke urges to this messenger to sit and concentrate on this artwork's beauty. I said, Fra Pandolf by design, for never read strangers like you. That picture continents the depth and passion of its earnest glance. Duke explaining to a messenger that he purposefully revealed the name of this painter because everyone who ever sees this picture he curious to know about the artist. He wanted to know the artist's name. Means people or outsider whoever see this picture they wonder how the artist managed to capture the Duchess expression as being so genuine. But to myself return, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I, and seem as they would ask me if they durst. Now here the meaning of durst is nothing but dared. If they dared to ask me they would. So here this Duke informing to this messenger that only he is authorized to pull back this curtain, means he only can see that picture, which shows that Duke can view this painting or if he chooses anyone to display this picture. And he says that whoever sees this picture, they astonished by seeing this picture and they turn to myself. And it seems that they wanted to ask me something. And what they wanted to ask? How such a glance came there. Means by seeing the Duchess painting, they think that how she looks so lifelike. So you are not the first person who is asking me. So not the first are you to turn and ask me. So here he's saying that you are not the first person who wanted to ask me this question. Means here he's saying that I can read the faces of those person and anticipate their questions. Now from this point he is complaining his last Duchess. Sir, it was not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheeks. Now here Duke addressing to this messenger as Sir and he is complaining about his Duchess and saying that the blush and smile on her cheeks were not because of his husband's presence. Now here he speculates that something else has happened. Perhaps for Pandolf chanced to say her mantle laps over my lady's wrist too much. Now mantle is nothing but here shawl. He speculates that by drawing his painting, Fra Pandolf compliment her beauty, telling her that the shawl or mantle means shawl, was concealing too much of her waist, means covering her waist too much. Or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half flush that dies along her throat. Or telling her that he would never be able to capture the beauty of her fading half flush on her throat in a painting. Means she is so beautiful that he cannot paint her beauty in this picture. That's the reason she is smiling here and she is blushing. Such stuff was courtesy, she thought, cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. Now here the meaning of courtesy is nothing but polite behavior. So here Duke criticizes his Duchess and he says that she believed that simple act of kindness or courteous remark like this were sufficient to satisfy her. Means this silly remark or compliment is enough for bringing a spot of joy on her face. She had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked whatever she looked on and her looks went everywhere. So according to Duke, his wife had a kind heart that was readily made joyful at any time. And also she easily impressed by anyone. She liked whatever she looked on and her looks went everywhere. That means whatever Duchess look at, she likes that thing. This line says that Duchess appears to be very friendly and down to earth person. She is not the type of person that Duke desire for his bride. Again Duke addressing this messenger as Sir and describing his last Duchess behavior and saying that it was all one. Means she treated everything or everyone equally. Means everything made her equally happy. My favor at her breast, the dropping of the daylight in the west, the buff of cherries some officious fool broke in the orchard for her, the white mule she rode with around the terrace, all and each would draw from her alike the approving speech or blush at last. Means here he is saying that she treated everything and everyone equally and that everything made her equally happy. She used to smile and thank him whenever he brought her jewelry or any necklace for her chest. At the same time, she also found joy in seemingly insignificant things like watching the sunset in the west, or receiving a branch of cherries from errant fool in the orchard, or riding the white mule around the terrace. So she treated everything alike, means everything was equal for her, and she gave each of these things the same praise, and at the last she gave a smile or blush. Now here Duke is very much angry because Duke expected his Duchess to give him extra attention, but she treated him equally and always reacted to him in the same way that she formerly reacted to any other regular person or item. She did not give him a special attention. She thanked men good, but thanked somehow. Now here he is describing one of her good quality, that she used to praise men, means she thanked men and respect the men, means she was very polite to express gratitude when someone gives you gift or does you a favor. He had no issue with the Duchess saying thank you to everyone, but I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of 900 years old name with anybody's gift. That means he did not like how can she rank his gift with another ordinary person's gift. Means she received the honor of 900-year-old family name from the duke, means by appointing her as his duchess he gave her a position which she had never enjoyed before marrying the duke, but she did not even consider this gift from him to be more significant than any other small favor performed to her by ordinary person. Who would stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Now, the meaning of stoop to blame this sort of trifling is nothing but to lower oneself in front of someone else. So, here Duke is saying that who would be so low as to question her about her odd behavior or to argue with her about it. But the fact is, Duke never informed the Duchess about her behavior, which shows that there was a communication breakdown in their relationship. Then further Duke described the barriers that prevented him from prostrating to his Duchess about her behavior, that even had you skill in his speech, which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one. Now here he says that even though he lacks the necessary communication skills which you have, means he doesn't have the communication skills, if he had tried to talk to her and told her about her behavior, means and say just this or that, in you disgust me, here you miss or they exceed the mark. Now exceed the mark means going beyond someone's limit, and here he says that if he had that skill he had tried to talk to her and told her about the behavior that disgust him, or and it is too much for him, means she is crossing her limits. And if she let herself be less and so, no plainly set her wits to yours, forsooth and made excuse. Means if we had told her about her behavior, there was a chance that she might have tried to change herself and become what he desired. But here he says that he would never have even attempted to speak to her, because even then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. So here Duke did not want to speak to her because he believed that doing so means if he explained her about her behavior, so it would be equal to stooping and explaining what was wrong. Being a duke means he feels that explaining anything to anyone, including his own duchess, is an insult, being a duke. So here we can see without uttering a word, he wanted his wife to know what he wanted even though he did not want to bend. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her. But who passed without much the same smile? Now here Duke acknowledges to Messenger that his Duchess was always cordial towards him. Means when she saw him or when he went by her, she always smiled and treated him kindly. But he also noticed that whoever passed from her, she gave the same smile. And this grew, means her behavior, day by day her behavior grew like this. Means here he informed the messenger that she continued to be kind and love everyone with great intensity. And the Duke acknowledges that he was unable to take it anymore. Then what he did, I gave commands. means there he issued order against his own duchess. And what was that command? Then all smile stopped together. There she stand as if alive. Means Duke issued order against his own duchess, which caused all of her smile to cease. This line suggests that he issued the order to kill her, so she wouldn't be able to smile anymore or grin anymore. Now here Duke turned towards the portrait and says that there she stand as if alive, means her portrait is look like she's standing alive in front of me. Will please your eyes, will meet the company below. Now here Duke gently requests the listener to stand up and to go and meet the other visitors who are downstairs. Then I repeat the count your masters known munificence means generosity is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed, though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object. Now the servant is told that the duke expect him to provide a dowry for her daughter in the amount of request, because everyone is aware of the generosity of his master. This line shows duke's greed, which is demonstrated here by this line. And additionally, he also says that he is not concerned about the dowry, but as if indicated earlier in the conversation, the count's daughter's fairness will be his top focus. Means his object is to marry count's daughter, not dowry. They will go together down, sir. Then here Duke stop his conversation and ask the messenger to come down along with him. Notice Neptune, though taming a seahorse, though a rare tree which Klaus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. Now the Duke directs the messenger's attention to another stunning work of art in his gallery. He gestures in the direction of a statue of Neptune, who is portrayed riding a seahorse. The artist who created it is mentioned by the Duke of the Servant, means here his name is here Klaus of Innsbruck. Here he reveals to him that this statue was created out of bronze, means metal, specially for him by Klaus of Innsbruck. So Robert Browning wrote the well-known dramatic monologue My Last Duchess, which implies that the speaker murdered his wife and will do the same to the next one shortly. So in My Last Duchess, the Duke of Ferrara gave the Count's envoy a tour around his home, where he reveals a portrait of his last Duchess, means his last wife. He also reveals his troubling aspect of his personality, namely a jealous possessiveness. So this is all about today's video, My Last Duchess. I hope it would be helpful for you. Stay tuned for more videos and thanks for watching.